Good evening, my name is Mary Maslowski. I'm going to call the chairperson of the Harwich Historic District and Historical Commission. We're going to call to order our meeting for on Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. At 6 p.m. we are holding this meeting at Town Hall at 732 Main Street in a small hearing room. Under Mass General Law, anybody that is intending to record this meeting must notify the chair. Hearing none, then we will start with a roll call, please.
Bob Doan.
Brendan Lowney.
Lynn Zalisak.
Julia Eldridge.
All right, so we will open the first public hearing, which is HH 2023-22. It's Elizabeth Doherty, owner, through her agent, Mark Zioli, who has filed a notice of intent. The project proposes to demo the right side roof for the addition of dormers. The structure is over 100 years old, according to the state and town assessing records, and is located at 102 Chase Street, map 11, parcel S6. Hi, if you could come forward, if you could sign our attendance sheet, and also please state your name for the record.
Name is Mark Zioli with Rogers Amani Builders out of Osterville. We're representing Mrs. Doherty for the addition of a second floor bath on the existing part of the house. We're not changing anything to the footprint of the house, just adding on a dormer that's going to match the existing shed dormer on the east side of the house.
Okay, great. So, Bob, do you have any questions you'd like to start with?
It does not, you're going to keep the chimney?
Yes, chimney is staying, yes, sir.
Okay, so can you show me exactly what, I think it's the right side, you're going to demolish on the deck, or is that
The deck is staying.
Yeah.
So if you look on page 3, on the exterior elevation on the back,
So the dormer's really off the back of the main.
it's off the back of the main structure.
Ridge
Yeah, we only have two.
Yes.
of the main structure.
Yep,
They only get two.
yep.
It's
Right here.
No, it's this right here. This bump
Oh,
out right here.
okay, okay, that bump out, okay.
Page 2.
I got you.
Tough to see. It's this right here. That's all
Yeah,
they're
there
doing.
is a difference there.
Oh, it's a sideways.
Yeah, it's on the right side, but it's off the
Gotcha.
back,
Okay.
off the
Yes.
ridge.
So it won't be seen from the front of the house. It won't change any of the gable side of the house.
It's just using the left of the space.
Yes, we just
Above
need,
the roof and beyond the deck there, to fit in a dormer.
yes, well, on the existing corner side of the house, yes. We just need headroom for the bathroom.
Okay,
That's it for me.
all right. Brendan,
Just adding the one window.
Just the one window on the south side, yes,
That's
sir.
existing.
Yes.
Lynn, anything?
Nope.
Julie, anything?
Nothing.
Nothing from me. Any questions or comments from people in the audience? Okay. Then if we are ready, the board is ready to take a vote, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All right, so motion's been made by Julie, seconded by Lynn, to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. So who would like to take a stab at the decision? Brendan?
Motion to approve case number HH 2023-22, filing date October 13th, 2023, hearing date November 15th, 2023.
Actually,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry,
20th.
sorry, November 21st, 2023. Map and parcel, 102 Chase Street, 116S, owner Elizabeth Doherty, applicant Mark Zioli.
Yes, sir.
Cert is 229590, year built 1890. Macris number HRW 346. Proposed demolition is to demo the right side roof for the addition of dormers, or dormer. Historical significance listed on the town's historical property inventory and call it the Macris number, Bob?
Yeah, that's the term, top.
Yeah, I'm
State
sorry.
Historic Register.
Yeah, listed on the National State Register of Historic Places. Proposed demolition would not substantially diminish the historic value or significance of the subject building. Determination, no demo delay period imposed. Conditions, none.
All right, so we have a motion that's been made by Brendan. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. It is approved.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Paul is here. Bob, Paul is here.
Mr. Doan, have you been appointed to our committee? Or to the other committee?
I'm here tonight, yes.
Okay. Have you been sworn in?
Yes.
Then
Proceed, I don't,
you're welcome to join us.
thank you.
All right. All right, the second matter on our agenda is HH 2023-23. It's Allison and Stephen Walsh, owner. We filed a notice of intent. The project proposes to demo the entire existing structure. The structure is over 100 years old according to the town assessing records and is located at 29 Wather Road, map 16, parcel T7. So if you could come forward, please. Yes, please, state your name for the record. If you could sign in on the attendance sheet for us, that would be greatly appreciated.
Great. My name is Stephen Walsh, and myself and my wife are the owner of the property.
Okay. So if you could walk through your application for us?
Sure. What would you want me to, do you want me to start anywhere, or?
You can just tell us what, exactly what and why, and what
Okay.
your reasons for seeking the full demolition.
The house is, we actually try to look at it for potentially living there, renovation, but it's got massive mold inside because of the roof was leaking, and I don't know, it was in tremendous disrepair before we bought it. It was basically, I don't think anyone lived in it for a couple of years, frankly. I don't know that factually, but it didn't look like anyone lived there. There was a new asphalt roof put on, I think, in July to partially fix the leaks. But generally, the house has just a asphalt roof. The windows are basically plastic, Anderson windows, I think. I don't know how old they are, probably 15 or 20 years old. And the outside, frankly, most of the outside is plastic. So I'm told that that's, I'm not an expert on historic indications, but there's not much there that I could see that's really historic. The chimney may be historic, but that's about to fall down. But we looked at it to possibly live in for a couple of years, but the builder said it would be cost prohibitive to renovate it, paint it, and fix the mold. We'd have to take all basically the drywall out, the floors out. So that's where we are. And the other thing is, if we renovate, we're going to push it away from the water, so conservation likes that. I met with Amy yesterday to go over kind of proposed plans.
So
And
have you finished with conservation?
no, I just gave her an indication of what we want to do and what she thought about it. And that's generally what we're going to do. And we're going to put a smaller house. Again, we're probably going to put in like a 4-bedroom house on the property. right now it has an 8-bedroom.
So let's start. Bob, do you want to start?
Yeah, there is some nice old ornamentation on the building part of it. And it is a nice example of that seaside building that was built back then, probably additions since then. But I'm curious, on your report, your old report, there isn't a summary. Did I miss that? Is there a summary of an opinion?
I don't think we didn't get one because we were gonna, we just met with him and the builder met with him and he's, you know, we didn't want to go through the extra costs of trying to, how to remediate the mold. It just wasn't, I mean, you can see the mold myself in the ceilings, you know, throughout the house, so. We were gonna just paint it and try to live in it for a few years, but it was not, you know, recommended.
Because, you know, looking at the test reports, and I'm no expert on this whatsoever, but they talk about the skin fragment prevalence and background density of 1 being low to 5 overloaded. And there are 1s being low except for 1, which was 2, which is still not that high. So to me, that indicates that even though there's mold there, it's not like it's spreading or it's necessarily in the air. Again, I'm not an expert, so you didn't take this report to the building inspector, because they would be the ones, I would think, would read a report and say, no, this building has to be condemned.
Oh, I'm not saying it had to be condemned, I just, you know, we just, from a business standpoint, it was, you know, it could have been, I mean, our builder is just saying he couldn't even give an estimate of how to remediate. So it could be anywhere up to $200,000 just to remediate the mold.
I mean, otherwise, the house looks in very good shape. from the
It's not
pictures,
bad shape, right, you know.
you know, other than got a leak and, you know, but, you know, being lifelong Cape Cod Carter, there's a lot of mold.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my comments so far.
Thank you, Bob. Brendan?
Have you started, I mean, do you have any plans or any ideas of what you would like to build there?
We do. I mean, we bought it, we closed in August, so we've been working on plans. We just got the site survey engineered by Clark Engineering back recent, you know, within a week. And I can show you just I mean, there's literally just pencil drawings,
So
you know.
that's typically what we see. So when
Yeah.
people come in for a demolition, the things that we use to mitigate that demolition is what's going to go back in its place. So when it's a historic building or a building that we think has some representation that we don't want to lose in Harwich, we like to see what's going to go in its place in the hopes that we're going to get back some of the same character. And those are kind of the factors that go into us deciding whether or not we think we can waive the demo delay bylaw.
Mm-hmm.
So
So I was told that this committee didn't have opine on the new structure, it was more on what's on the property now.
So-
But, I mean,
so-
that's fine.
So our ability is to impose a demolition delay,
Yeah,
right? So we do, with the cooperation of applicants, depending on what's going in its place, can make a determination to waive that demo delay if we believe that the merits of what's going in is going to somehow replace what's being lost by the older structure.
okay.
So
We
it's
can,
not
I mean,
that-
we can
It's not
give
that
you
we
a.
don't, it's not that we don't care, we don't have a say, we try to, and particularly when it's a house that is,
Close to
that we
200
deem
years
is somewhat significant, either in style. So, you know, for example, in the campgrounds, we've had people knock down the whole building, but when possible, we've gotten some of the same structural elements back. So we might lose a little bit in scale, but we might have a lot of the same look and feel to at least represent what was being lost. So that's kind of what this board, I think, is gonna have a little bit of difficulty with.
Okay.
I don't know if you have plans or pictures that you'd like to show us, we can certainly continue to next month and have you come in and see that. Otherwise, you know.
I can give you architectural plans of what it will look like. I can't I mean, it's going to be a Cape-style house, but, you know, it hasn't gone through any of the, this is supposed to be the first hurdle here for
Right,
us
it
to
is,
go.
it
So,
is. So,
we're preliminary, you know, doing
Yeah.
architectural
so I
plans.
don't know what your, I don't know what your construction schedule is, but for us, you know, we haven't gone all the way through the board yet. I'm just giving you the heads up that that's part of the issue that some of us are going to have, is not knowing what's going in its place. So that's where the 12-month delay comes in. I just wanted to preface the rest of the hearing with that. Lynn, do you have any questions or comments on
Well,
the house itself?
being that the house is almost 200 years old, it's one of the oldest houses in town.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, that is significant. That's why it's on macros. It should also be researched as to who has lived in the house. It could be someone who is historically significant to the town as well.
It is, well, we showed the background there. I don't think, we went back to 1950, I think.
Well, you've got another 150 years beyond that.
There's not a lot of great records there, frankly.
A title search
Yeah.
might be helpful in that regard. Also, the mold does not seem to be that big of an issue if I'm reading this correctly, and I'm reading it like Bob is. And it does seem to be in good condition. I really, before I make a decision, want to see what the plans are. Because if something is going to go in there, it should definitely reflect what's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the character of this town is the historic buildings. And it's one of the charms of the town that brings people here, brings business in.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to maintain that. That's an attitude of mine, that's a belief of mine.
So you as a committee want to see what the pro forma architectural plan looks like? Is that before you make a decision?
Generally speaking,
Yeah,
I
that would be great to see.
Okay.
I think that's what we're asking for next.
But so I was told in this meeting that the committee is not responsible for, again, the pro forma
so.
building. So that's why I
we're
didn't
not
bring it
respon-
out.
So we're not responsible for for your building permit or anything of that sort. But what we are responsible for is the potential delay in your being able to get a building permit. So part of the way the demo delay bylaw is built is to force a delay, is to give this committee and others the opportunity to find some reasonable alternatives for a full demolition of a what this board would consider a historically significant house, which, you know, a 200-year-old house within the town of Harwich. So that's where it comes from, and it gives us the ability to come to agreement with you to do something different as far as aesthetically.
Okay,
So that's kind of where it's coming from.
okay. So,
And traditionally, that's how we've worked in this board in the last few years.
yeah.
Brendan?
Is your only two hurdles health and conservation?
No, it's health, conservation, historic, and the building,
Oh, the building, I'm just
yeah.
talking the other, okay.
I think that's all there is. It's a non-conforming lot because the front, the street side of the lot is not maybe 40 feet, it's like 30, whatever, it's 35 feet, so it's a non-conforming.
So do you have to go to ZBA? Do you know? Zoning Board of Appeals?
I'm not sure.
You
I
might
think
have
I
to,
do.
right?
I think that's through the building department, right?
Correct.
So yeah,
Yes.
your permit will
Correct.
get denied, then it will go to ZBA.
Yeah,
So
but
you're-
he said, he looked at it as long as it's within all the
Right.
building codes, it would be fine.
I mean, because of the process, I would recommend putting the 1-year delay, but even though we put the delay on, if you have plans and you want to come back and for us to reconsider, we will do that. But
That would be fine. I mean, yeah, I would ask for a continuance then for another month.
okay.
Yeah,
I
for our
would
next
prefer
meeting.
that.
What's
Okay.
that?
I think it'd be great for us to see
Yeah.
plans
Yeah.
and,
So I'll just give you the two options. What Bob's suggesting gets the clock ticking, so that if you
Get denied.
don't come back, if you don't come back, then your 12 months starts from
Today?
tonight.
Okay,
Brendan's suggestion is you can wait a month and come back to us, and maybe we come to an agreement next month, and then you don't have to come back at all, and just push off the delay for
yeah,
a
okay.
month. Assuming that's the route we're going, which of course. we
Sounds
haven't
that
voted
way.
yet, So,
Sounds that way. I'm from Philadelphia, so it's a difficult trip for me to make, but I will have the plans set up to you guys
that'd be
so
great.
you can see them. In addition to, we'll have, I'll have either a builder or our attorney represent us while we're here.
okay,
My wife may, but I can't come.
okay. Is there anybody in the audience that had any questions as part of the public hearing that was interested or wanted to speak in favor or opposition? Okay,
And just one more thing, since
Yeah.
we're laying it all out for you.
Yeah.
You're new to the town. If we come to an agreement next meeting, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and you go to file your permit, gets denied, you go to ZBA, and they give you permission, but you have to change the structure a little bit, you'll have to come back to us for that approval.
well.
Correct?
No,
No?
because he's not here in the historic district, he's only here as a historic structure.
Right.
So we are strictly either imposing a delay or not imposing a delay.
Yeah.
And then if we impose a delay and they don't want to wait out the whole delay, then they can come back to us if there are plans that we're happy with and we can remove the delay or lessen it, but he doesn't, but no, because,
I just remember that happening one time in the campgrounds.
so
They didn't want to come back.
but our opportunity was strictly because of, they wanted to waive the demo delay, they wanted to shorten the demo delay.
Right.
And that's all it is. It's
Okay.
not, yeah.
All right, fair enough. So, scratch.
So,
Okay.
so you can, so like I said, I don't think it really makes a difference to the board either way. If it's easier for you, for us to impose a delay, and then if we look at the plans next month and decide that it's fine and we can remove it, or if your plan is to have somebody come up and represent you next month. Anyway, we can,
Well, it sounds
happy to
like
take-
the
happy
key
to
thing
take
for
it
you
up.
guys, I mean, the committee,
Yeah.
is to see the proposed
It is when it
house.
comes to.
Is that correct, the way I,
Yes. It's really.
and
just-
depending on what that looks like, you will impose a delay or not?
Correct.
Is that a good
That's-
summary of
That's
where we
generally
are?
how, so if you have seen some of what we've done in the past even few months, where, people have come back with and made some changes, so we haven't imposed a delay because they've made some changes aesthetically. A couple of the houses in the campgrounds, we've done that with.
So, again, this one question, because I'm new on this, but
Sure.
if you impose a delay and then to come back, you can change that delay?
Yes.
Depending on the committee,
We-
okay.
We can lift it.
Yeah, we can always lift it. So, what voting it tonight does for you is starts the clock ticking, so that
Okay,
if heaven
Yeah, yeah.
forbid we don't like anything
Yeah.
that you come back with, your 12
least it
months has already started,
started,
as opposed to
okay.
waiting for 2 months. So that's
Thank
kind of
you.
where it's coming from.
And
that's all right. I have more money in the bank, so that's fine.
typically, what you might consider is taking some of the elements off the building and reusing them, or.
I could, except there's not, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's what quite often happens.
There's nothing I see there. And I've gone through a lot of renovations. We just moved from Fiddler's Landing to here, and we did the whole house over. There's nothing that I could see other than maybe the brick.
People have done that, right, Bob? They've used.
I mean, I could use the brick for like a,
Portico or
Or a
something,
facade
they
or
can
something.
move, a outside.
I mean, do you have pictures of the house there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I don't-
Sometimes it's mimicking a roof line or
Yeah,
the shape of
We
the
have a
roof
similar,
line.
we have a different roof line than this, but it's similar.
So
It's
sometimes
not,
that's,
you know, again, as I said, we're putting up a 4-bedroom main house, and then we're putting in a garage that's separated. And then we're putting in a pool house and a small pool.
you know, and sometimes making sure, like, you have a chimney, you know, helps, because that's very common. That
So we're having 2 chimneys in the middle of the house.
Those are the kind of things. that-
Yeah, and there'd be brick.
Yeah.
But,
And a
yeah, I
foundation.
honestly, I couldn't tell you, I mean, I've been through the house a lot, and there's nothing, I mean, I personally would like to renovate it myself, just for
yeah.
Yeah.
the cost factor, but it's just not renovatable. I mean, it's not worth, all the-
All the builders don't want to do it that way.
well, no,
Store-
you know, if you want to live in it, not to get into it, but, you know, for only 3 years and then build it all over, it's not worth the money. You know, the bathrooms, the kitchen, there's nothing there. So, and the mold, which is basically a deep, dark hole that you don't know.
Understood, it's, you know, we deal with it with houses every month. so
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
as the case may be. Do you have a preference? Would you prefer we start the clock ticking and then you can come back? Or do you want to postpone, to continue for a month?
I don't know what
And send
is
us
a
the
better benchmark to do.
So, depending on your plans, we might be able to tie it up next month. But that's up to you, because, like I said, the 12 months would start ticking tonight as opposed to December
Yeah,
15th if
right.
we did it then, so.
Okay. I guess we'll start it here, because you guys can change your view once you see the plans, I guess. Is that
We
correct? Way to think about it? Okay.
And,
It works both ways, so.
right. Does anybody have any other, any questions, comments before we close the public hearing?
Great.
All right, then I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Julie. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
No,
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, who'd like to take a,
So are we continuing, or are we, you want
Is that it?
continuance?
I don't know the definition. of Continuance, does
Oh,
it start the
it's-
clock, or is it not?
so it's just, no, the continuance doesn't start the clock. Imposing the 12-month demo delay would start the clock tonight. So it
We meet, I
essentially
mean, what's
the-
the next scheduled meeting, December?
So we are the third Wednesday is our usual meeting. This is a little out of date for us, so let me see.
I'm assuming I can get plans
So
that,
the third Wednesday would be the 20th of December.
20th, or then in January would be the next date, right? Regular
so we can meet, so I can be on board for the 20th of December? With the, okay, so why don't I ask for a continuance then?
All right.
Okay.
Is that good?
Then we
Yeah,
will,
that's fine.
lovely.
oh, well, so we just closed the public hearing. So let's,
Oh, we're not back up again?
yeah,
Huh?
let's
Open up the
open up our
public
public
hearing
hearing again. So can I have a motion to rescind the vote to close the public hearing?
So moved.
All right.
second.
Lynn and Brendan to rescind the vote to close.
Who can I consult with on the committee to just see if the pro forma documents that we send out are
So you can send,
adequate?
you can send those to Rachel Lohr in the building
Yeah,
department.
Rachel,
Is
right.
our assistant,
Yep.
and she can reach out to us and we can take a look and just let you know if what you've sent is enough or if we needed something more than that.
Okay,
All right.
great. Yep. All right, thank you.
All right. Just
Just
want
a
to.
second.
So we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition?
Yeah.
All right, then we need a motion to continue the public hearing until December
20th.
20th, no
And-
earlier than 6 p.m.
Right.
So Bob's made the motion to continue.
Second.
Julie has seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. We are continued to December 20th, no earlier than 6 PM. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Thank you.
All right.
Hope you dropped the hat. Thank you very much. Oh, your bag.
Who is that?
Okay. So next item on our agenda is approval of meeting minutes. We've got minutes from September 20th, 27th, and October 18th. Did anybody have an opportunity to look at them?
I did.
Any questions or changes? Then I'd entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from 9:20, 9:27, and 10:18.
Oh, wait a minute, there is one. My name
Is that right?
is missing its E.
Okay, on which one?
The 20th.
All right. So I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes with the one change that the spelling of Lynn's first name get corrected on the September 20th meeting minutes.
I'm
Someone like
gonna
to
be
make
on
that
the record, I'm
motion?
gonna be on the
So-
record correctly.
Brendan made the motion. Any seconds?
I'll second.
Oh,
Bob seconded. All in favor of
Aye.
approving?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, we have a meeting list. Mr. Pauldone, you're welcome to chime in if you would like on the meeting list that we have for potential dates.
You wanna see it?
Are there any dates that are problematic for anyone?
Not that I see so far.
Okay, and not that I see either. I know it's a heavy election year next year, but nothing looks like it's gonna conflict. So, would the board like to approve the meeting minutes as presented? The meeting dates as presented?
I move to approve the meeting dates as presented.
Second?
Motion's been made by Bob, seconded by Lynn. All in favor?
aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.
Okay, real quickly, do we have to make a decision on, oh, we picked the May 16th?
No, we'll have some time to
Yeah.
Okay.
put a
Alright,
date in later as we
Alright.
get closer.
fair enough.
On which one?
The May date.
The May date,
Oh,
they gave us some options, so.
Any updates from members?
Do we have an update on a new member?
So that's the question. So Mr. Doan, some of us were confused. Were you appointed to the HDHC or were you appointed to the
EMAC.
Brooks Academy Museum Committee?
Appointed to your committee.
That's what I was,
Okay.
that's what I originally thought.
Yeah.
And then
Welcome.
before you arrived, we had a discussion about it.
Welcome.
So we welcome you aboard and we're thrilled to have you joining us. So please,
Forward to attend.
if you're sworn in, please feel free to join us anytime.
Well, I'll wait till it's.
That's fine. We are, as you know, we're generally the third Wednesday of the month at 6 PM. We do try to accommodate when we can't, when we don't have a quorum, we do try to kind of rearrange on the fly if need be, which is what this was. That's why we're here on a Tuesday night instead of our normal third Wednesday. For us, it's a permitting board, so as a board of 7, a quorum for us is 4. And when we are voting on matters, we take it that 4 is the quantum of vote that they need to, for a passage. So, some of our ongoing projects, Bob has been deep into trying to get us, into our project with a new round of CPC funding to finish updating the Macris entries for some properties that are already in, and also doing kind of a deeper dive on clusters that we did not do with the last historic list that now dates back to what, about 2016, 2015?
Yeah, yeah, it actually was done by Bear.
So that's outstanding. And we had started work on a revision to the demo delay bylaw, which John Eidman, when he was here as a town planner, had made some suggestions and thought we should take another pass at it. And we still have that in the works that we probably need to revisit soon to kind of look at and start that back up again. So that's kind of where we are.
Okay, thank you.
Historic.
You get a package of the applicant's proposals and so forth?
We do.
And how, is that sent out, emailed, or?
It's usually emailed the week before,
Not the
or you can
package,
pick
not
up
the
a
package.
hard copy.
Not the
Yeah,
packets
the hard
online.
copy will be outside the building.
And then you're expected, I assume, to have visited the locations and all?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we try to do drive-bys when we can and try not to go on other people's property when when they don't know we're coming. So for the most part, you know, the drive-bys are going to tell us when we're looking at the demo delay, what we're interested in, and it's really the same in the historic district. We're interested in what we can see from public ways and from public locations. So from the public beach, from the public street, you know, if for example, here in the historic district, if we're looking at something on Main Street here, we're also looking to see what we can see from Parallel Street. And any of that is kind of our purview on certificate of appropriatenesses and certificates of appropriateness. My mother just rolled over it when I said that. And pretty much the same when it comes to the demo delays. Like we said, we've been requesting certain accommodations on some demolitions so that, you know,
At
a
the
brick
first
veneer is
hearing,
put back in, you know, something else is put on, so.
The first hearing tonight, I mean, I did make a copy of just to sort of get somewhat familiar with but when I went over and looked at the property, it was a little difficult to determine what was actually happening from
It was hard to
from
see on the
this
plan.
report. But the fact that the property that's being altered there isn't street facing or isn't even visible probably, maybe the neighbor to the north, I don't know. But so in that regard, you don't have a great deal of interest or willingness to be difficult.
Correct. We try not to be, I think we tried not to be difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really try to crush people's dreams. I think we're pretty good with that as a board as a whole. So,
You know, but we also understand that there are plenty of people that are passionate about what's been there before, should stay there before, so, you know, sometimes, like I said, in the campground, there have been a few buildings that we have, you know, begrudgingly agreed to the 100% demolition because what was going had the same look and feel. We might have lost some scale, the scale from the 1800s, but not the look at least. So it's a balancing act. Because because all that demo delay does is give us a 12-month delay. So if they want to wait us out, they can wait us out. So that's
They
the,
put up what they want.
right,
correct.
that's the catch-22.
Yeah.
So,
And also some people just don't even think at it from a historic
No.
aspect. They just see a house and they want to remove it and put something new on there, not even thinking about, is there a value to what's already there?
no, because they're looking to for their retirement home, and I need to make it livable. So
Yeah, and
there's
that's
that too,
understandable.
right?
There's
So-
that understandable, so gotta find a middle ground.
Exactly.
So with respect to this second hearing, do you have an interest in trying to see the replacement building physically?
So that's what we've added. So that will be part of what we'll look at. I don't want to talk about it too much because we're still in hearing with them. But yes, that's some of the plans that would be coming our way.
Because it appeared to me anyway, that the distance from the bluff and all of that, it's impossible to really replace the building there on that site.
Fortunately,
They
that's
can't.
not
The
our-
Conservation's probably gonna push it
Right.
back.
That's a whole.
That's not in our area.
But,
That's not
but
us,
Paul,
I
what's in
think.
our favor, what's been happening the last couple of years, I think just from this board, a lot more architects are understanding the process, and a lot of residents are coming to the table with plans that are already done, well thought out. I think the word's been spreading, and we've had some great architects come in front of us with the details that we're looking for or to replicate what's there. And they've done a really great job.
And the materials they use too.
The materials, everything else. I mean, the challenge has always been the pitch and the roof, because once you go to a second floor and you get the 8-foot ceilings, it changes the roof pitch a little bit. But we've had some real success with architects. I think they're hearing loud and clear what's happening. So they're coming to the table before, and we've had some great plans presented to us. So we've had some luck.
Yeah, some that we've had no comments
Right,
at
yeah.
all,
And
so.
we've had people come before us says, no, just give me the 1 year, I know, I'm gonna do what I want. We lost a good one in Harwich Center that way, not in the district, but
Yeah.
it's not far from where you live.
Okey-dokey.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I'm
Welcome.
thrilled to have you aboard. We are happy to
Look forward.
try and build our membership back up again.
Two
I don't know
domes.
how many more years I've got, but I'll look forward to it.
So I do have a report.
All right,
Yeah.
So as far as the bid process for the Macros update, we are getting some response.
good.
I
Great.
met with a woman yesterday who was interested out of Plymouth, and she seems to know her business, and she had pointed out that, you know, for the amount of money we have, there's no way we can do a total really detailed on the history, like some of the entries. But if we change it a little bit so that we can cover some kind of history with it, that's more local without necessarily doing a lot of research in the registry of deeds, because that's where you really get bogged down in the registry of deeds. Something that should only take 20 minutes can end up taking, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So we're going to probably actually change a little bit. I'm going to talk to Sarah Kinshirf. I always get her last name.
Korjak, yeah.
Korjak.
Yep.
To get her opinion on that, because I sent out the specs, just like the historic site, Massachusetts Story wanted.
Yep.
And she just pointed out that under that description, you'd only get a handful done probably, or it wouldn't get a whole lot done.
Okay, I'm surprised because so much of the registry is online now that
I
you
know,
can see.
and you can do it at home.
Yeah,
but
I'm
She's
surprised by
gonna
that.
put in 2 bids actually,
All
but
right.
we have to republish
Right.
a different criteria, so everybody has
Right,
that information.
right.
But at least we got some very interested. She
Good,
talked to me.
good.
So,
Good, good.
That's great.
yeah.
We're-
And that's what we expected. We didn't expect to do everything in that one.
No, but we also didn't expect to get no responses at all either.
Well, that's
so.
true. So I think that was time of year more than anything
Could be.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be.
Middle of winter is when people probably do that.
Exactly, yeah.
Stuck in the house, good homework.
We're deep into CPC reviews, trying to figure out what we have to spend and what we are gonna have to approve.
That comes out in
We have
January,
one
right?
historic application.
Yep,
It should.
yep. So surprising though that is. So, we'll see. We're still waiting on numbers, I think, right? I wasn't there last week.
Yeah.
But still waiting on numbers. Not much else to report on anything else that I can think of. You?
No?
Anything else from anyone?
I have nothing.
I move to close.
All right. Motion's been made by Lynn. Is there a second?
Second?
Seconded by Julie to close to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.